Testing, testing again. Go ahead, M.
Fantastic. And go ahead, Soul.
Yay, I can go ahead. Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to part 3 of the Mass Effect 4 Wasted Potential Semi-Perfect, whereas the first one fell under Wasted Potential and kind of goes on from there, though there are arguments to be made otherwise.
Yeah. 3 is definitely the closest to semi-perfect as we'll probably get.
But before we go farther, I'm your host Soul, this is my co-host M, and on with the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! So let's waste an entire hour again explaining characters.
Indeed, that seems to be the main problem. Like, as much as there is a lot of characters for this, at least they're fun and well written most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, given the fact that this is one hell of a trilogy, and that like I said, I can never say that there's a lot of problems with all the characters. I mean, you're always going to have that one or two you'd never like, but as a written whole, there's actually some pretty solid writing.
Yeah, and they're all really damn strong. Even if you don't like them, they can still be really good.
Okay, let's start off with the new characters once again. Starting off, we have James Vega, the military grunt, who actually had his own movie.
Which actually wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. It was actually pretty good.
Not great, though.
Could have been better, and could have been more Mass Effect world building for that than just a tie-in for Mass Effect 3, but for what it is, it's a solid movie, I'll say.
I enjoyed watching it, but I've never felt the need to go back to it.
No, but it also kind of gives a better demonstration of the biotic powers and everything like that in the Mass Effect world, too.
Yeah. Which, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's easier to digest than some of the massive blocks of text BioWare have handed to us.
And I'll say this, for a tie-in movie, it's actually on the better end of the spectrum for those.
Yeah.
Because there have been some real bad tie-in movies. Let's say he's your typical grunt. Really, as fun as he is, that's really the best way to describe him, I find. M?
Yeah, and
okay,
he's sorry, someone else messaged me. You can't. Anyway, yeah, I always did enjoy his interactions, and he can call you Loco, and I like that about him.
Loco or Loli or Lola.
Lola, yeah.
Yes.
Because the way I play the game, Lola was the nickname he gave my fem shepherd, and he never called M shepherd Loco because, like, no, do not call me that on my ship.
I mean, he had a lot of fun banter whenever you go to visit him. I will say that one, especially with that.
Yeah.
Oh God,
one of the mechanics.
Yeah.
Who? Side note. I felt really sad for that one mechanic.
Yeah, he's a romance option.
Yeah, I heard he is, but I felt like that's a dishonor to, his character. Like, you kind of like sloppy seconds.
I didn't. My character never lent that way.
No, and I think he's like I think he's only romanceable for men.
Exactly.
Which
it's fine. It's just not one way my character went.
That's good. It's nice to have a purely gay guy who won't be forced to be bi because he just goes one way, and that was actually really sweet how you actually got to help him try and do a little memorial for his late husband
and help him move on and actually just be his friend, not the love interest.
Yeah, and that's all he was both times. Both my shepherds were like, I'm gonna be that shoulder you can lean on, man, but let's just leave it there.
Sounds good to me. But yeah, going back to Vega, like I said, Adrenaline Junkie has some interesting dialogue because I wouldn't say it's PTSD, but
no,
more survivor's guilt.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of survivor's guilt he has, and
watch the movie, you'll understand why.
Yeah, and I do like about how you and him can kind of compete with each other in terms of fitness.
That's fun.
Yeah, and I also like how At times, I didn't really agree with him, but when he starts going on about how much more impressive he is because he has no biotics, and both my shepherds didn't have biotics, they're like, "Oh yeah, high five! No biotics here. We'll
The
show them
Biotic
off."
Free Club.
You know, not that I disliked it, but I just felt like we're kind of here doing shit without superpowers. What's your excuse for lagging behind her, guys?
Come on, I already killed 20 people. Good times. Yeah, this had a little less of the Mass Effect 2 character storylines, but it kind of built more as individual characters, I find.
Yeah. Okay. Who's next? Who's the next character to talk about?
Well, technically, she is and is not a new character, technically.
Yeah, that's true.
We have Edie. Now, we mentioned her in the previous episode being the AI for the ship's computer. Well,
now she's a robot.
Yeah, she kind of hijacked a robot body.
And she's still in your ship, so she can be in two places at once.
That must be a headache.
Also, in the end of Mass Effect 2, she started getting very close to the pilot. Now she has a sexy robot female body to hang around with him, and
that is technically the body of her sister.
It's a weird way. But what the only thing that Joker has ever done that I laughed my ass about was he's in the Citadel, and he's basically like, she can go anywhere with me because I can claim she's my medical assist droid because I have bad bones, so I can take her anywhere. I'm like, you sly motherfucker. That's awesome.
And like or dislike, he's crafty.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, I didn't like Joker until he started bonding with Edie, who I instantly liked Edie, and every time Edie and Joker argued in the first one, I'm like, I'm siding with the supercomputer in our ship. Why? Because she can vent us.
Fair argument. I can't argue that.
You'll just crash us. If you're going to crash us, we're going to see it happening. The venting us, that's just instantaneous.
But when Plus, you can probably come up with more creative ways to kill us. You can still just only crash us.
Or just lead to us slowly going insane just by dimming the lights or just flickering the lights and whatnot. And just general spookiness.
Yeah.
Gaslighting us or literally gassing us.
And this is one of these instances where computer AIs are handled well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I always really hate the whole lazy robot uprising story. I'm like, I mean, that could happen, but it feels like just you have a robot or AI. Well, the only thing we can do with it is have it uprise.
Or, try and get to know people. That's an option. No, you're crazy. That can't happen.
Yeah, it almost always goes to uprising. Very rarely, the second most used one is let's get to know humans, and then awkward misunderstandings constantly.
Yeah.
And then that often leads to accidental want to take over the world or destroy humans because of a small miscommunication.
Look at Ultron. That went well.
Ultron's one of the few examples of I'm okay with it.
I was saying about for the movie. That kind of escalated very quickly.
I actually meant the original. Not the comic, but the cartoon Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes. I like that Ultron. Anyway, getting off comics and all. But yeah, Edie was pretty useful in combat, but not one I relied on very much myself. How about you? Did you ever use Edie very often?
I used her at the start because I thought it was interesting to have her when I first got her. Just to have a sort of intelligent, innocent perspective.
You know who we forgot to mention in Mass Effect 2?
Who's that?
Legion.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot.
How did we forget Legion? He's one of our favorite characters in general.
I think because we were running low on time, we kind of wrapped it up without thinking about it.
We were kind of rushing it. So, quick, back to Mass Effect 2, right?
Time travel, Legion. We can do that.
Yeah. We really should mention Legion, who, he's a Geth. Actually, now, he's many Geth.
Yeah, that's kind of the headache in all of this.
And the reason why I thought about it, that Edie is the one who kind of named him Legion.
Yeah.
And
quick fact real quick before we go any farther. The Geth, as we mentioned, are kind of like a hive mind AI.
They need a lot of what they refer to as platforms, which we would refer to as singular robots in a group to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
Legion is multiple of their brains, like I think how many thousand?
At least 1,000 something or other.
Yeah, uploaded into one body so that they have the brain equal to or above the average human.
I would say a
And
little above because he kind of.
he's definitely smarter than most people, but you do get to outsmart him at times. So
Mhm.
up in the
But
air.
he is very. Uh, I wouldn't say tack is his strongest point though,
No,
but I think that's
but
a Geth thing.
it's a Geth thing. Plus, they are multiple brains speaking at once.
Because the best way, the best dialogue I ever had with Legion was asking him why he took my armor to repair himself.
Yeah,
Because
and
that kind of starts seeing that Legion with all these AIs and building consensus and everything like that. It's semi building an individual with thousands of thoughts. It's kind of an interesting prospect.
yeah,
And the more you think about it, the better that scene becomes, apparently.
yeah,
Because half the time you're talking to Legion, you forget there's like 1,000 of minds all talking at once at the speed of light.
yeah.
And
Only when he mentions that he's kind of going through a census, like that's kind of what he words it, is like a decision he needs to make is technically a democratic vote.
yeah,
And when you ask them, okay, what happens if the Geth don't agree? The Geth always agree, but you just held a vote. And then
yeah, it's kind of
and then you find out the Geth have split into two segments. One half that worship the Reapers, and the other half is like, no, we want to be independent. We don't want any hand downs. We want to learn on our own. We want to explore on our own.
Here's the thing. I don't know. To the Geth, 1 + 1 = 2, or 1 + 1 = 1. There really isn't
Yeah,
a latitude with this. It's kind of all or nothing. You have to. It's hard
yeah.
to put into words with that.
It really is. It's just so, like, even when you speak to him, you're like, oh, okay, and then you walk away in 5 seconds. Like, wait a minute, oh wow, that's deep.
Yeah, it's why I like Legion, but it's also brain
Really
numbing
complicated.
because you're trying to rationalize having 1,000 thoughts at once.
I'm a very philosophical man, and even I'm just like, God, Legion, that's too much for me to take. I'm gonna go in a corner and just think about monster trucks.
But like I said, I think the best part that shows that is when you're asking about why he uses your armor to repair him,
When
and it's
there's
like,
much better scrap out there you could have used.
and he just does not have an answer.
No, he didn't say it was the first part I found, or it was the easiest thing to use. He just doesn't really have an answer for you.
Which I just think says a lot about what they were doing with Legion, and I applauded it.
Although the best part about Legion is his breakdancing.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, while he doesn't technically join your party, with a lot of characters, you get to temporarily recruit them for your mission in Mass Effect 3.
or at least have a small part where you get to talk to them again. All right, we'll talk about the next character in Mass Effect 3. So fast forward to Mass Effect 3 again. Let's see. We talked about James. Talked about Edie. Who should we talk about next?
Let's go for the first DLC character,
Okay,
Mr. Javik.
a character Soul's not too crazy about, but I actually really enjoyed.
Don't get me wrong, he has good dialogue. The only reason I didn't like him is because he took over the room Grunt was living in.
He improved it.
Says you. I don't even know what half the shit in there does.
It had a cool water table thingamajig.
We could have put that anywhere.
No.
We could have put that in the bathroom so everybody else could enjoy it.
I don't think it's for washing your hands.
That's what he was always doing at it.
I thought he was typing something.
No, he's a germaphobe.
Either that or some sort of ritual he does.
My point being is I wanted a goddamn Krogan in my party again.
Eh.
I mean, if they'd given me Javik and a Krogan, I would have been happier. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. I mean, you at least did get another character for one DLC mission.
Yeah. If we don't get to that, I'm definitely going to be talking about DLC in the next part.
Yeah, Mass Effect maybe 4 games, but we might end up having to do 5 or 6 parts.
But
We digress.
yeah, Javik is
He's a Prothean.
Protein. Thank you. I couldn't think what the hell they were called for a moment.
Wait, aren't they extinct? Cryogenically frozen for how many years?
At least 50,000.
I think that, yeah.
because we kind of stalled off the extension of all races kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's
All right.
he's a warrior Prothean, and everyone expects the Protheans to be all philosophical and scientific geniuses. No, he's a warrior. He's a conqueror. He even mentions,
Oh yeah, and the Protheans were warlords. Kind of got
yeah,
that fact wrong too.
he pretty much mentions, oh yeah, we conquered planets, we crushed other races. We were the. It wasn't like you guys with the democratic system of all the planets getting along. No, the Protheans just crushed everybody else.
Yeah,
And
Liara had a lot to think about on that one.
Yeah, considering her entire life, she looked up the Protheans as some sort of pillars of knowledge and wisdom and kindness, and no, we conquered things.
It got really fun when Javik screwed up a lot of Liara's religion.
Theory, yeah.
That was a fun mission.
And there's also just, how it's even hinted that the Protheans have also had influence on all the species that are currently alive right now.
Yeah, they knew a lot of species before they got to where they were.
Yeah, and they're very surprised by a lot of things. Like, wait, the Solarians are this now? Huh, go figure.
And they agree with the Krogans. Solarian livers are best served raw. I'm sorry, that was just funny.
It is. It's just like one of those weird things. It's like, okay, apparently that's a thing that has not changed in 50,000 years. Wait, Javik, did you test that recently? Maybe. But I just like him because he's very... There's a lot of times when I took him and James on missions, and the response to it was the exact same thing. Blow shit up.
Yeah, like I said, his dialogue and everything's fine. I'm just resentful to no Krogan in the party. I did enjoy a lot of his dialogue, and the one where he's trying to give a speech at the Citadel was humorous as hell.
Yeah, it was.
I'm going to give you a motivational speech of how you can't possibly win. Yeah, don't go that direction. But let's see. Yeah, he was the last remaining Prothean. Not really much. You can say that it's more of him showing the mystery that everyone had about the Protheans, and that how even recorded history can be completely different from what you see it as.
Yeah. Plus, time is not very good at keeping information on its own.
But it's not like it's a complete lie. By them interfering with other races, even by dominating them, they did improve a couple of things. So it's not like it's a complete lie out of retrospect.
Yeah.
It's just not the way that you would picture it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if we found out some of our ancient history mysteries, we would be like, oh, that's it? That's disappointing. Or, wait, that was used for this? What is wrong with you?
I think the best way to put it was from Oda Nobunaga from Drifters. Yeah, history didn't record the fact he was a complete dick, did it?
No. It also brings, speaking of animes with ancient characters, Alexander the Great in Fate Zero was apparently... Alexander is apparently a very short person, but this is told by a giant's point of view. So when he sat in a huge throne, he looked tiny. He was an average-sized man, or taller, but of course he looked small in a throne. But all was recorded that he looked tiny in his throne, so people think Alexander the Great was shorter than average.
Mm-hmm.
That could be true. We don't know for sure.
Didn't Napoleon have that same problem?
Napoleon's actually taller than we think he is.
Yeah.
He also didn't have a problem with his height. The whole Napoleon syndrome is actually a British propaganda thing, to my understanding.
Yeah, well, when you're going to war with somebody,
propaganda is a weapon.
Yeah,
it's just that because
really
the British, kind of won that, their propaganda survived. For all we know, Napoleon's propaganda about, the English generals was, they all wear duck hats. I don't know. I couldn't think of it on the top of my head.
No, I'm just saying, propaganda is a useful tool. You might as well use it.
Yeah, and if history only remembers propaganda, that leads to some weirdness.
Yeah. Wonder what the Prothean propaganda would have been more like.
I have no idea.
But yeah, I did mention I was going to bring this up in the previous episode. The Protheans technically Javik is not the last Prothean. He's the last pure Prothean. Yes. The Collectors are what the Reapers did to the Protheans. Spoiler alerts.
Yeah. They
brainwashed and genetically altered.
I forget what Morton said about them. They're alive, but they're not alive. Like they lack a culture, so they're not actually a living species. I
think it was something along the lines the body is alive, but the brain is kind of drone-esque.
Yeah.
Because the Reapers can kind of like take control of the individual collector and give it a power boost.
Yeah.
So it's a little complicated on that end.
That's the thing. A lot of people from Mass Effect 2 remember. I am assuming direct control.
Yeah.
That got old fast, but I still love it.
I think they could have used it a little less. It would have had a lot more meaning behind it. But
well, for me, it only ever happened in the last few missions, so it felt like he was having to take control more often. But I especially loved sniping the guy he directly took control of, and then he has to take another body immediately afterwards. It's like I'm just basically following him while I'm sniping people.
Oh, I had one where he took control and I just threw him off a cliff. Have fun with the landing, bastard.
Wait, can't these guys sometimes fly?
I already shot his wings.
Well, you can't really fly when you're tumbling that fast.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go on to the next DLC characters, which I actually don't know anything about because I never played this mission because it always was out of my price range for DLC, which was the I forget what it's called now. I was kind of pissed off because you get to play there's a female Turian involved, and
I can't think of her name now. I know exactly who you're talking about. Oh.
Yeah. And I didn't get to see her story at all because I didn't buy that DLC because it was overpriced in my opinion at that time, and I've never gone back to it.
I can't argue it. I was.
Pardon me.
How do I put this? I think it was a little overpriced, but it wasn't anything that was out of hand.
Yeah. I basically, no matter the DLC, I almost always give myself a price range. If said item goes above this price range, I don't buy it.
I think the one thing that might alter that rule would be the final DLC for Mass Effect.
No, that actually was on sale when I bought it.
Mm. Well, I'm just saying, if you had known it was that good, would you still pay the full price?
No.
Fair enough.
Maybe, I don't know. You'd have to ask me 5 years ago.
Yeah, fair enough. But we can at least agree it's good DLC.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll take that agreement.
Yeah.
But
so I guess
that was. Oh God, what the hell is her name? Sorry, folks. Kind of forgot that was even DLC.
Yeah, I only just remembered it just now.
Oh God, there was even a running meme with that too, with everything she told you on the planet.
Nira Krandos? Krandos?
I'm trying to think of what's her name for that. Arya Taluk, that was it. Don't fuck with Arya.
Yes, that was it. Yeah,
the owner, technical owner of that little space station you go to. She got kicked off from owning the place. Backstory in a comic.
Yeah,
but so she technically hires you to get her resources to help fight the Reapers. So you agree to do it. Fun little DLC. There's one thing I never did to complete the full DLC on that one, but it's one of the more basic DLCs I find. It was not that.
Yeah, everything I heard about was not enough to make me push over the edge to buy it.
I mean, the powers you got from were pretty cool. I won't argue that. But aside from a few minor things and some few fun QuickTime events and mortal systems, it was pretty bland. Go here, do this. Go here, do this. It didn't really feel like you were thought processing anything until the end. But if the point you got on sale, you get it with the whole collection, it's not a bad DLC.
Yeah, I mean,
there are definitely far worse DLCs out there.
I mean, I still every now and then, whenever I pass by the Wii U version of Mass Effect 3, which has all the DLC in it, I think I always go, I kind of want that because it's a good price for all of it together, and I wouldn't mind replaying it again.
I wouldn't mind it either, actually. But I just after having it all on my Xbox One or Xbone, whatever you want to call it, I just can't agree to myself to spend the money on it, you know? Because if I'm going to do it, I'll just go back and play for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second DLC was let's see here.
Leviathan stuff, which really didn't have.
Oh, that got good and dark all at once.
That was cheaper, and it didn't really have any additional characters. It was really fun though, so
Yeah,
we'll say we'll save that for story, I guess.
and DLC talk because I think DLC should be its own little conversation too.
Yeah, yeah,
I will say this though, I did like the introduction of the Leviathans
yeah. We
because
will have a lot to talk about them.
yeah,
They're
that
really
opened
fun.
up a whole new can of worms.
Yeah. The only other character to join up also comes from DLC, but he only joins up for that DLC part, which made Soul very happy.
Welcome back, Rex.
Yeah, the last one, the Citadel DLC, which
Oh, you gotta admit that was fun.
that was probably the best written part of all of Mass Effect trilogy.
I can't argue that. Why shoot something once when you shoot it 32 more times?
And the day has been saved by this toothbrush. Yeah, that was yeah.
That was the thing.
Yep.
Granted, it
Meanwhile-
was a toothbrush that controlled a miniature black hole, but
Gardevoir. What? I have been watching Pokemon videos about Gardevoir's scientific relations behind black holes.
but yeah, almost just about everyone that you've met throughout the entire Mass Effect series does make an appearance, either
Yep.
either as a team member with more story put onto them, a temporary party member, or just someone you actually just go to talk to and get
Yep.
resources from.
Caden / Ashley can return, or do return. Tali and Garrus return, and Liara return as permanent party members. But everyone else that was either a party member or and a major key player that lived through the first two games do
That's the
reappear
important
in this.
part.
Yeah. Characters you got killed in the previous one don't appear, but their impacts, their death can have massive ramifications.
Yeah, I
For
do like the memorial that you had on the Normandy,
Yep.
or the Normandy 2, I should say.
Yep. For example, if you lost Morden at any point in Mass Effect 2, his entire subplot his subplot in 3 greatly affects the subplot of the entire Grogan species.
Yeah.
In fact, it's possible to really screw over the Krogans by losing Rex in 1 and Morden in 2, and ergo, the only option in 3 is kind of the bad option.
Yeah. Thank God for replay value and the make your own back history.
Yep, thank goodness for that.
Now, you want to screw over the Krogans?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean, I can't say that. There are some grounds for it, but I still feel kind of iffy about it. I've never taken the screw the Krogans over story progression.
Look, I just like that speech Rex gives you as you're going to go save them.
Yeah.
Fight like a Krogan. But I'm better than that.
Run like a leopard.
Yeah. I love that song.
Yes, so do I.
Okay. Is there any other
we're finally done all the characters that side with you that are part of the main story.
Yeah, if we went over every character, we'd never be done.
We just wanted to cover the main players. I guess we could finally talk about the Elusive Man if we want, because he's very important to 3 as well.
Yeah, this is where he shows that he really went off the deep end on this.
It's pretty much hinted that much like the first villain, Saren,
something like that.
Yeah, he is now a puppet of the Reapers, but he's much like Saren in denial about it. I like to think it's argued that he's not, but he's still helping them in a sense.
Well, you kind of question that until the end point with the end scenes, but
I've know people who say he only fell under control at the very end.
No, that's entirely possible. I can't argue that.
I can't argue that, but I feel like he was pretty much more subtly controlled than Saren was.
Yeah, because I think that I think if you take the right conversation choices, he does pause and hesitate to give thought to it.
Yeah,
like there's like that moment of lapse of that he's trying to judge what is going on.
I think you could actually convince him to kill himself.
I did.
Pretty sure I did too. No. I shot him myself.
Oh, that reminds me. There is one other character we do have to talk about.
Where?
Oh my god, I'm trying to think of who he was. That was for Thane, asshole.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think what the hell his name was now.
Oh, I just saw it a second ago.
Yeah.
Basically, he's the Cerberus's top assassin and
A real dick.
cyborg jackass. I can't find him anywhere.
Oh god, now I can't think of what the... That's gonna bother me now because I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying too. And ugh.
Kai Lang.
Yeah, that was it.
He was also a former N7 Marine.
Yeah, he's basically...
Spoiler alert, if you do the storyline right, to a certain degree, with along the story... Well, not right, but to a certain avenue. Yeah, Thane dies fighting this asshole.
Yeah.
Granted, he was really sick, and even...
It was not a fair fight. It's a sick, dying, old alien versus a hot, young, cybernetic guy with all the advantages and fighting fucking dirty.
Yeah, even Thane caught him out on that bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
That assassin should be ashamed. The Crepit Krell kept him from killing everybody.
Yeah, that's still pretty damn impressive for a dying old man. And
best renegade moment ever.
I don't know anyone who hasn't taken that renegade off. It's basically like the exploding barrel in Mass Effect 2, where everyone does that.
The only people I know that didn't do that were the people that either went a different route with that time, or Thane was doing something else. I forget. There's a couple ways I can go through.
Yeah, but everyone I know who did that, like, got to that point, even if they're doing a 100% Paragon run, usually end up hitting Renegade at least just, and then reload the file, but they just have to see the Renegade option for that.
I left it alone because my shepherds would have done it.
Oh yeah, you mess with a member of my crew, both my shepherds are going to make you suffer that way.
Yeah.
In fact, that's probably what the male shepherd would have done, but that's not brutal enough for my female shepherd. What she would have done, like I said, she's a mama bear.
Yeah.
And you mess with someone who is on her crew. Yeah.
You know, that actually brings up an interesting conversation I think we can bring up for a few moments after now discussing all the other characters.
Yeah, okay.
What was your two main Commander Shepherds like?
Like I've said before, M. Shepard was all business, get shit done, the most efficient way. He didn't care if he ended up looking like the bad guy. He didn't care if it made him a hero. He just realized, the universe is doomed. I don't have time for your politics. And he was very confronting a lot of people. Like, he was almost pure renegade at times.
Yeah.
But
now, was there something in his past that built up to that you made for him, or was it...
He was the lone survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, it was because everyone broke protocol.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
And he followed protocol, but he also got shit done. Like, he wasn't like constantly bending he wouldn't break the rules. He would bend them to help, but only, I did write him with a bunch of survivor's guilt, which is why he was so protective of his current crew.
Yeah, like I was saying, you can bend the rules, just don't break them. Yeah,
that was his philosophy. Female shepherd I went with, she would break the rules. I went with the orphan storyline for her.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first family she's gotten. And I pictured her kind of older than most of her crew. Mm-hmm. So mama bear instincts kicked in.
Yeah.
So she was much more Paragon at times. She was much more, okay, let's end this diplomatically. But as soon as, it became the threatening member of her crew, her sniper rifle came out. It's just, yeah. And like I said, I was trying to do a more of a Paragon route for her, and every now and then I'm like, yeah, this is the quickest solution, and it keeps my crew safe. She'll take it. Yeah. But she would have ended up much more of like a good publicity at the end of it. Like, she would be fondly remembered, while probably have just been remembered as a brutal guy who got shit done. Like, I don't think he's going to have that many people outside the Normandy grieving for him.
Yeah.
Well, the female shepherd's like, yeah, she brought us all together. We're going to miss her. She was really, a big part of a lot of our lives. Yeah, she touched a lot of people. That guy over there, he just terrified the crap out of us, so we worked together.
Is that why there's a picture of a gun on his tombstone?
We didn't put a gun there.
So how did he get that over there?
His hand burst out of the ground.
Ah! Another Lazarus Project, god damn it! Yeah, my first one, I went with the parents were killed and that mission of the Thrush 'em all just killed everybody in my platoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, my male shepherd kind of had a long-standing part with survivor's guilt.
Yep.
Which how he got along with James and a lot of it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't antisocial from it. He just, what's the best way I can put this? At first, he had trouble really trusting anyone, but he kind of took people as he needed them to be effective with a team.
Yeah. Okay, I just realized one of the difference between M. Shepherd and my female shepherd. M. Shepherd had, a stick up his ass. Female shepherd tried to be that cool mom.
Yeah,
both of them were not the greatest at socialization, but they had very different means of coming across it.
Yeah, Soul Shepherd tried to interact with the crew and kind of, like, he always told himself he wouldn't do it again, but every time he got into a team, he couldn't help himself, despite it.
Yeah.
And the problem with him is that a little bit of own personal stories that in the back of his head, someone was always telling him, like, they're just going to die again. Because he kind of thought himself as a bad luck charm on that one.
They're all going to die, and it's your fault, you fat slob.
Yeah. Especially when a couple of the characters died during the storyline, that kind of hit like hell.
Yeah.
Especially Thane. That was... Oh, God, Thane.
Yeah. Like I said, that pissed off my female shepherd to no ends. Like,
simply because of the way the storyline is, you technically got him involved in a part.
Yeah, it's all your fault he's there. My M. Shepherd basically, thank you for your brave sacrifice, you wonderful soldier. I'm gonna make that guy, I'm gonna kill that guy for you, though, at least. Female Shepherd, like, oh, crap, that was my fault, my fault. That motherfucker got one of my crew
I won't
killed.
lie, Soul Shepherd also did it for the satisfaction of just proving that he was better.
M. Shepherd definitely had.
Like, that was the last concern on the list.
Yeah.
But I won't lie that it was on there.
That was also a list on for my male shepherd, but female shepherd, that was not even a blimp on the radar. But on her crew, everyone already knew that. That was just, okay, that's confirmation, but like, there's a scene, I think it's in 3, where you could have a friendly sniping contest with Garrus.
Yeah.
And if you throw the match, it boosts his confidence. M. Shepherd wouldn't do that. My female shepherd did.
I saved this twice to see which one felt better for me.
Not just because she missed, not just because they were dating, because that's just something she would have done. Like, it would have made him feel better. And like, yeah, but no.
I did it both ways just to see the reaction, everything like, and try to see which one felt better to me.
There's like a friendly poker game you can play with a crew member, and you can choose to like be vicious in it. M. Shepherd took that.
Soul played him. You can try to do like the non-aggressive route and you still win, but the guy kind of plays himself for the act. Like, it was all good fun, don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
That's cute. It's the little things like that that really make this game.
Yeah, and it really can let you picture a different version of your character.
Like, I think that's one of the things. Like, you can pick a little bit of your background and military career, but you can kind of build your background however you want in most cases to your personality.
Like, just because you took the everyone dies but you military mission does not mean you have to have your character suffer from survivor's guilt. That's a thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah. It's just something I did just to have more storyline for me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really portray much besides what the game has intended for it.
Yeah. And there's no way of arguing that was not the right way to write that character.
No, it's your character. Write him however you want and get the job done.
Yeah. There's just enough room to write with and just enough difference to, not follow the story exactly.
Yeah. But, okay, we got about... Okay, we can do this now. One of the major things that Mass Effect has done right, and even in the first one, was the character interactions, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Despite the first one having some issues, when it came to maybe not even a main interaction, but just you overhear a conversation from another group, it felt like a soul living universe.
The ship felt alive.
Yeah. I mean, after a while, you kind of realized that it was repeating itself over and over, but there's not much they could do about that.
To be fair, though, I often hear the same conversations everywhere I go.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's something you can't really stop either, and it's going to happen until some new technology comes out to fix that we can solve that with, but good luck on that one.
Hell, there was a couple days ago at work. I had a massive flashback. Like, oh my god, I've said the exact same line to 4 different customers this morning. I'm a goddamn NPC.
Yeah.
It was good morning. How was your night? Very good, wonderful. Have a safe trip.
Yeah, you don't realize
Repeat,
how automated some things are.
repeat 4 times in the span of under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just stopped while I was doing paperwork. Like, oh my god, I'm a goddamn NPC in a video game, and I physically had to go out of my way to sound different.
But but everything feels alive. But the way everything felt alive is that everything felt so different between the species. You had the hot har, which were floating, glowing jellyfish. You had the hot har, which are these big hulking. No, that wasn't the hot har. That was the Elcor that were the big haunching things
The
that kind of have
Elcor,
this
yeah.
weird way of talking because they say how their emotions are because they don't really emulate their emotions the way we perceive them.
No,
So
like,
an Elcor could be angry, and I would have no goddamn clue.
so they just blatantly say, with great unbridled anger, "Get out of my shop, please."
We still never saw that Shakespeare play with them.
Yeah,
I think for good reason.
probably for good reason.
The Volas are like these round little squat things. They're almost in the same situation the Quarians are in, with needing to be in a suit all the time.
But there's just like for gravitational reasons, I believe.
There are some other reasons. There's a filtration system also, but not as life-threatening as the Quarians.
Yeah, but I just have one question for you, Soul.
What's that?
Did you ever want to kick one down a flight of stairs and see how much they bounce?
Oh, we joked about it in the multiplayer that should be like a combo move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fun fact: Mass Effect 3 had a multiplayer.
It was pretty fun.
It was short and simple and didn't really. A lot of people complained that it affected the main storyline too much, but I never felt it did. You can still 100% that without doing anything in multiplayer.
I didn't even do it until the story was done.
Yeah, I did it because I found it to be a lot of fun, but that's me. But
Yeah.
it gave you a chance to really kind of try out different things. I mean, you could play as almost all the races that were available throughout Mass Effect, and they added new ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could play as a collector, which was really kind of weird and fun at the same time.
It was.
The Rockney, I can't pronounce that right now.
Arachne?
Yeah, the little bugs that you hated. Fun fact, they actually technically didn't start that war. That was the Reapers.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those things that it's like, did everything just tie back to the Reapers at this point?
Probably.
Yeah. See, here's the thing: the Reapers we can talk about now are is the main drive. They're an AI system of giant spaceship-sized robots built to render the universe back to square one in a way. And it was done this to prevent the war between AIs and humans.
Well, AIs and organics.
Yeah. And kind of makes you get the feeling that the AIs just won. Sometimes.
Well, it's almost like, not having the need to eat, sleep, or having the problem of aging are tactical advantages.
Yeah. But you see, here's the thing. They were sneaky as all fuck about it.
Yeah.
And even the first Reaper you come in contact with, or I think talked about, is that the way they did it was that they left the mass relays for all the species to find.
Yep. All the technology used in this universe is given to leftovers from the Reapers as a way to control technological growth, so they don't, like, no one accidentally comes a way of stopping them. If you've already got all these, systems made for you, you're not gonna reinvent the wheel. The wheel's already there for you.
You might polish the wheel up a little bit, but you're not really doing anything outside of their spectrum.
Yep.
And that's really clever, I find. Because they're manipulating everything without doing a goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. Because when all the species found, it's like, oh, this is so ingenious and incredible, we don't need to do anything else. Yeah, kind of screwing ourselves over on that one, which I find was really intriguing.
It's basically Mass Effect is a giant example of the whole metaphor. If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he won't be subjected to your mind control from the fish you're feeding him.
Yeah, the
Wait.
Solarians. I know some Solarians didn't fall for that. They had like the Black Ops team doing side things, but the
Yeah.
problem was with all that standard technology, some species, even though they started, were not prepared by time to even remotely defend themselves.
Nope.
I mean, you got lucky with a lot of things and how to put off the invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the Citadel plan. It's a good thing that was a project from like so many generations of planning.
Yeah.
So many generations. And even that was a crap shot.
Yeah.
But we said the Asari were fun. The all female species that use whatever they want to procreate. I think
Don't
this is somehow
understand.
an affront to genetics because they shouldn't all look like Asari then.
It's hinted that sometimes they have like slight discolorations,
Remember
but
that green one that was with the plant thing?
oh yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it just somehow feels like an affront to genetics. Maybe I'm wrong, but damn.
It doesn't feel as bad as Metal Gear's understanding of dominant and recessive genes, though.
Yeah, but I can kind of excuse that for alternate dimension.
I guess.
I'm just saying.
I just remember playing Metal Gear post learning about dominant genes in junior high. I'm like, wow, I'm smarter than this game.
Eh. Um, the Solarians were always fun to talk to.
Yeah, they're always a.
Even if you talk to a dumb Solarian, it's still an entertaining conversation.
It's like talking to the fat. Basically it's like, oh my god, I just realized something. They should have had the Micro Machine Man voice of Slarian.
uh,
I would have loved to see that as like a Solarian businessman.
oh God.
Just picture him outside his shop and just trying to get you in. You're like, I have no idea what he just said.
Why is there smoke coming out of your jaw?
Yeah. If I buy something, will you please stop that?
Uh, the military Turians and the more you learn about how their system works, the more you can kind of see how it's kept them alive.
Yeah.
I mean, they had plans in case somebody got assassinated. They're like, oh, you're next in charge, go.
It's that much of a ladder where you actually in 3 have to go like 15 rungs down.
Well, first you got to figure out who's dead and who's still standing.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. You're next. Holy crap! I'm next.
I like the question, like, how far down the ladder are you, Garrus? I see an assassination attempt's coming.
Garrus I think probably would have said like low enough for it to take a long time.
Well, your planet's under siege by planet killers. I don't think it's going to take that long.
Damn it.
And a lot of the Turians are, at that point, are at least open to the logic of talking to other people. It's not like they're crazy with control, all of them.
Yeah, clearly our methods need a bit of bolstering. Please help us.
Yeah. Save our planets.
Save our butts.
The Krogans, the war-happy species that were not as war-happy as you would think at some point. See, this is where I really think Mass Effect 3 shined with dealing with the Krogans and their history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue because even they admit it. Yeah, they fucked up their plan with the nuclear winter. That's not going to change anytime soon. But to say that they're all war-happy monsters, they were kind of put there to the same extent, too, when they were given all the advanced technology and the promise to save themselves. I'm not going to argue that they kind of overstepped boundaries, but this also ties in the mission with Morden, where he has his morale system kind of questioned.
Yeah.
Because you find out in 3, he was actually helping the Krogans work on a cure for the genophage, because he saw the work of his apprentice and the horrors of that many stillbirths on a person.
Yep.
Now, granted, Morden technically wasn't the right when he was helping with the genophage, But just because you're not right doesn't mean you always stay there.
Indeed.
And I just think the whole thing of seeing the Krogans' history and learning more about them was a lot more interesting than some other parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Quarians were fun. Finally forcing them to get along with the Geth was a real pain in my ass.
It was a pain in the ass and so awkward. But once you got that done, it was so good to finally have these two species admit that, look, you guys can share the planet.
Look, you guys can do so many more amazing things together. The Geth don't want you dead.
They just didn't want to be slaves.
They just didn't want to be erased either.
That too. Like, more or less didn't want to be erased, but once they weren't that, they kind of like the freedom.
Yeah, here's the thing, folks. The Quarians started that war despite what anybody says.
And they didn't even have a damn good reason to start. They just kind of panicked and started firing.
Yeah. Like, if they'd said, okay, this all started when technically, I believe it was even Legion that was the unit that did it, asked its creator, do I have a soul?
Yes.
Now, I can understand having some slight panic based on what you know about how their AI is supposed to work. That's fine. You kind of overreact. Your entire species kind of overreacted on this principle.
I definitely get the feeling the Koreans never had the philosophy, or even the very simple, I think, therefore I am.
Yeah. I would have gone like, that's an interesting question. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Maybe the question back would be like, how do you define a soul? So you could answer that better.
Yeah, sometimes you have to answer a question with another question.
And then maybe sit down and talk with the Geth instead of reaching for that shotgun under the counter.
First off, why'd you have that shotgun under the counter in the first place? Who were you expecting to burst into your lab?
Well, some of the science projects do go the wrong way. Don't look at me like I'm crazy.
Well, you are, but you are crazy.
It's just one of those things where the simplest solution would have solved the entire problem, I find.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if the Geth had gone a little stir-crazy after that, of not getting an answer, okay, you might have had a self-defense lesson on this one. But there was nothing to suggest that the Geth were going to outright revolt if you couldn't give an immediate answer.
Mm-hmm. If anything, they probably just would have had and then ask again 5 minutes later.
Or maybe answer how you define a soul. Maybe you give an answer, or maybe you can discuss that you're not going to be able to answer that because basically you don't have the answer to answer that, actually. Because I don't even, if a robot first asked me that, I'd be like, well, first you need to tell me how you define a soul, and then you need to tell me what you think.
Well, so the other solution besides taking a shotgun is to yell, "This sentence is false," and run out of the room.
I always lie! That was easy. Yep. Sweet.
Always try a paradox before a shotgun when it comes to AI. That's just my safety rule.
But what if it's got one of those paradox chips that stop paradoxes from overriding it?
Well, it'll still probably explode. It'll just regrow its head because its head is made of paradox, reducing crumple zones. I like Robot Santa.
Even the Vorcha were sometimes fun to mess with.
They're like these little creepy little guys that just regen stupid fast.
Fun fact: they're not big fans of being lit on fire.
No, they're not. I would have liked one to be on the ship, but it didn't need to be a party or just to have one on the ship just to hang out with. They're kind of dumb though.
And like the Slayers, they have a short lifespan because they're high regen.
Yep, but it's really good for testing biological warfare on them.
That laugh meant nothing.
Sure.
Oh yeah, the Yogg, the Shadow Broker. Who the first Shadow Broker before him kept us a pet.
Who is now one of the smartest things alive.
Yeah.
You can end that. That's still a fun boss fight, though. That's still such a fun boss fight.
and then seeing another one in Mass Effect 3 and teasing Liara about
Yeah, that's
it.
one of the times where I had to go rewind and bring her on that mission.
I can hear. I think it whispered Liara. That's not funny, Garrus. And previously mentioned that Leviathans, the creators of this entire system of Reapers, technically.
Yeah, they made giant robots to assist them because they're also giant space aliens that also naturally have the Reaper's ability to indoctrinate, which is mind control.
Yeah. See, here's what I don't get from the DLC, though. Is why did they mention that the Citadel housed the AI?
Uh,
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're dicks.
oh yeah.
Ab-
Oh
yeah, these guys
yeah.
are absolute dicks. Like, I
Well,
know they probably have a grudge.
it's a possibility that the Leviathans we knew didn't know that.
Man, they're still dicks.
Yeah, yeah.
They have a
There's-
superiority complex that rivals Javix.
I actually think it's slightly bigger,
Probably, but I didn't talk to them all that much.
just because they do everything big.
Yeah. Oh, he's got superiority complex. I must be even more superior. I must have slaves give me stuff that I don't need.
In fact, I'm so superior. I'm gonna build a robot to get more slaves for me, so that I have a slave army that gets a slave army that probably will then get me a slave army.
You know, that's probably how this whole thing started. It wasn't them trying to find a solution for a war with the AI. No, they just wanted to prove who had more slaves.
Probably.
Bunch of dicks.
Yep.
Reaching the last couple of minutes here. Is there anything you want to mention for the first 3 trilogy that you want to bring up?
I'm just gonna say what my favorite gun was.
Which one's that?
The Black Widow. Oh God,
yeah.
that sniper rifle had this wonderful clong noise whenever you fired it. Which for me, that noise pretty much sounds with "You're dead, you're dead, you're dead."
Which one was
Only-
mine? I
only-
gotta find mine because I.
Only it was a clong, clong, clong. Reload.
Easy, girl.
I was excited for clong noises.
All right, where is it? Ah, the M96 Mattock.
Wasn't that like an assault?
The cross between a sniper rifle and an assault rifle, all in one.
Which fired more like an assault rifle, in my opinion.
Well, it had a more quick fire to it, but it wasn't like a machine gun fire.
No, I rarely ever used that because it didn't do enough damage in one burst for me.
I used it a lot because I find it did. I could get a lot of headshots and do massive damage with it.
You want to know what my favorite pistol was?
What's that?
It was from the Citadel DLC, that silenced pistol.
Oh, yeah, I love that pistol. After I got that, I didn't use anything else.
Yeah, that thing just tore shit. Like, you're used to silenced pistols in games being like crap.
No, this thing was awesome.
This thing just tore things apart. In fact, several times I just got so tired of using my sniper, I just ran in there with a tiny pistol instead, taking on ridiculous things I shouldn't. Oh, here's one last thing we should probably talk about.
What's that?
The husks that the Mass Effect 3 introduced. The Krogan Turian hybrid monster.
Oh, God. But real quick before that, I want to mention my other favorite gun.
Okay.
The M920 Kane, or as I call it, the nuke launcher.
Oh, yeah.
Fun little story. When I first got that thing, I had no idea how to use it. So I fired at close range. My first thought was, why the hell did they give me this thing? I could hurt somebody with... Oh. I almost killed myself with it that time, too.
Yep. But yeah, what were they called? I know one of them was called the Banshee, which...
That was the Asari, which... Ugh.
Yeah, that's apparently people's nightmare fuel. I just didn't really react that.
I just think it had a nice build-up for it.
Yeah, oh yeah, the build-up for that thing was spectacular. In fact, it's on a lot of people's top 10 list of scariest monsters.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not that scary to me, but it does have a one-hit kill, so I'm like, it is something to be worried about. Like, any game where a monster has a one-hit kill, it automatically makes me concerned about it.
Yeah, it's not like... let me see. How do I want to put this? I'm trying to think what the thing's called. Even the creature itself, even if that's not your nightmare fuel, the build-up was so nice with the creepy installation that's kind of vacant. There's no one around.
And when you actually finally see one, that just the zoom in on it and the noise it makes when it's walking towards you,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, this will be a fun boss fight.
And then there's more of them show up.
I'm like, what do you mean these become a reoccurring enemy?
Yeah,
Crud.
the number wasn't that they were scarier.
Yeah.
The thing is that like these things are tough, have an instant kill, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I think at one point you had to fight like 7 at once.
Something like that. A good thing I had to...
And at the same, I think they're just called brutes, the Krogan Turian hybrids. Yeah,
I believe you're right. I'm actually at that page now. I'm looking it up. Yes,
it was
brutes.
always fun. It was always fun when a couple of brutes show up flanked by banshees.
Oh God.
That's my always respect. Only first time that happened, my first thought was, I'm gonna need a bigger gun. You're already wielding the biggest sniper rifle. Yeah, I want a slightly bigger one.
And then you got the cannibals, which are the Batarians that consume fallen husks to create armor for themselves.
Yeah, they were never that big of a deal to me.
No, I'm just saying, at least they're doing something creative with them.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, the transport dragon things, the harvesters.
Oh yeah, the harvesters were a friggin' nightmare to fight.
Oh God, but they were so cool in design.
Oh yeah, sweet designed.
They kind of made me think of the large Geth troopers, but better designed.
You know which ones I didn't like though?
What's that?
Well, I didn't like fighting was the Marauders.
Oh, the Taurian ones.
Yeah, they were really damn like annoying to fight in certain situations.
Yeah, they acted like a unit that knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The Ravagers, the Rachni one with the powerful cannons. Pain in the ass.
They were easy to snipe.
I was never a good sniper, so it was a bit more of a pain in the ass, but...
They were just basically walking targets for me. They just burst really easily. And were those the ones that spit out acid that damaged things around them?
I believe so, yeah. That was
So,
or the Swarmers.
Yeah, so whenever they were like that, I was pretty happy to see those because it meant I could do collateral damage with one shot.
Mm. But I liked how they were taking the species and taking what the Reapers do and making interesting things with it. Mm-hmm. I would like to have seen a pure Krogan husk just to see what it would look like entirely.
Yeah.
But the brutes are more creepy because they have that head on it, like a long swivel or a long like giraffe like neck, and it just makes it so much creepier for that.
Yeah.
And they did not go down easy.
No, like because of the way their heads designed, they're almost impossible to headshot.
Yeah, if you're headshotting it, you're also in the way of extreme danger.
Yeah, I didn't. Those were the ones I had more problems with. The Banshees, you could headshot. It was still hard to, because the worst part of the Banshees is they can teleport. So there's nothing worse than finding that nice, perfect shot lined up and where to go. Which, of course, your first instinct is, oh crap, did it teleport behind me? Swivel around. Oh, no, I didn't. Swivel back around, now in front of you. Oh.
Oh, hi.
Crud.
In fact, some of the fun, it's even more fun when you realize that Cerberus was integrating Reaper technology into their units.
That was smart.
Oh, yeah. I think it was a genius idea when you know what the Reapers do.
They're going to have a nice, long life.
Good luck on that one.
Yep.
Especially when you take off the face mask of one of them and just see that. Ugh.
Well, that was a fun way to die.
The more horrifying thing is that you realize that that's what your scars looked like when you're on the table and all that. So,
yeah,
kind of makes you wonder what's in your ass. We'll get more of that in the story in the next part. Mm-hmm. Because I think before we go into Andromeda, we should talk about the entire Mass Effect series 1, 2, and 3, because Andromeda kind of goes off and does its own little thing.
Which was really smart, but unfortunately some fans didn't quite understand that.
Yeah. But that's a conversation for later. We hope you enjoy this. We'll get more into divulging into the storyline and a little more critiques in the next part. Because the main part of Mass Effect was indeed the characters and interactions. So
and
trying to talk about them takes up a lot of time.
As much as we end up liking the gameplay in the last two games, The story and the characters mostly matter, and the characters above all else matter.
Mm-hmm. So we hope to see you there. We hope to have a discussion about it. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good one.
Take care.